Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a natural look using a gold glittery liner, and I'm using my friend Lauren as a model. So let's get started. First, I always prep the skin using Embroylisse Moisterizer. It's a great moisturizer for dry skin. And then the next thing I do is I'm priming her face with SmahBox priming water. Now I'm taking MAC's spiked brow pencil and I'm using it to carve out her brows, to sculpt her brows. I love the way this brow pencil really adheres to her hair, and the color is perfect. The reddish brown matches her hair color perfectly. Now I'm taking MAC Prolong concealer in the shade NW35, and I'm using a Sephora brush to blend out the concealer. I love using Prolong concealer underneath the brow because sometimes if I forget, it acts as a highlight later. Now I'm taking MAC's Layin Low paint pot and I'm placing it all over her mobile lid and a little bit in the crease, and I smooth it with my index finger. The first curl I'm using is Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Peach in her highlight brow area. Okay, now I'm using Caramel from Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy palette, and I'm using my MAC 227 brush to blend in her outer crease. I use soft strokes. Don't press too hard. You just want to have a light pressure to the brush with the brush. Now I'm taking Morraco from Anastasia Beverly Hills to place right underneath that caramel. Now I'm adding the color Hot Chocolate to her outer V, and I'm creating a V with my 226 brush as well as my 227 brush, both from MAC, and I'm using the brushes just to make sure the crease is very smoothed out. Now I'm taking Bamboo from MAC Cosmetics and I'm placing it all over her mobile lid. I'm pressing the color into the Layin Low paint pot that we applied earlier just to get a really smooth application, and I'm kind of creating a little cut crease, but I mean it's gonna be like a soft cut crease. It's not a hard cut crease at all, but it's kind of a soft cut crease. Now I'm taking the gel liner from Inglot. It's number 77, and I'm creating a winged liner. I'm taking an angle brush, a small angle brush. I don't know the number, but it's from MAC. I'll place the information down below, and I'm gently making the wing liner. Directly on top of that wing liner, I'm taking Urban Decay's Midnight Cowboy glitter gold liner and placing it directly above it. Again, using small strokes just so I can be careful and not mess up anything. Now I'm taking one of my favorite foundations to use, Estee Lauder's Double Wear Foundation, and I'm placing it all over her face using a stippling brush from Bellium Tools. Here, the concealer I'm using today is Urban Decay's Weightless concealer. And I'm using the color medium dark, and I'm blending it out with a beauty blender. And make sure the beauty blender is damp, not dry. A damp brush gives a way smoother application, and it presses into the skin beautifully. Now I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Deep palette, and I'm using the first shade, which is the lighter shade, as her contour color. And I'm placing it in her contour areas to recede. Contour is receding, highlight means to bring forth. And I'm blending it out with another Sephora brush. I'll put the number down below. And I'm just pressing the color into her skin, and also using that same brush from earlier to do her nose contour. Here I'm using Sacha Cosmetics ButterCup powder for her highlighted areas using a dry beauty blender. I'm taking the color Hot Chocolate again and placing it under her waterline to smoke out the color. And I'm using my favorite mascara, which is MAC's Extended Play Mascara underneath for her small baby lashes. Now I'm taking Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Mascara. I'm using on her brows to keep them in place throughout the day. So by this time, I left my Sacha ButterCup powder sit for about 5 minutes. So I take my large fluffy brush and I sweep the powder away with Mineralize Skin Finish in Dark. To place more emphasis on her highlighted areas, I'm using Peaches and Cream highlighting powder on her highlighted areas. And I'm using it softly with a flat brush. For her contour, I'm using Blunt from MAC for her contour areas. This is a great contour color. It's used pretty much everywhere, especially on women of color. It's one of my favorites that I use on my clients. For her nose contour, I use MAC's Uninterrupted eyeshadow. It's one of the best colors I've found for nose contours for women of color. It's all I use now on everybody, even myself. It's wonderful. And I use a 227. Her blush, I use Raizin Blush from MAC. It's a go-to blush for me. It works great on all skin tones. I add a little some to her tear duct. I use So Hollywood from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going to use that same color on her cheeks later. For her red lip, I start off using Current Lip Liner from MAC, and I like to fill it all in first and then place the color on top. I found that works better for me later, especially whenever I'm placing the color, so I can play with it. The color I'm taking today is Anastasia Beverly Hills American Girl. And I'm just really smoothing out all of the lip. It's such a pretty color. Like, this video is doing it no justice. None at all. Red lipstick is the hardest thing to do. I learned that a long time ago, but I'm perfecting it slowly. Like I said earlier, I use So Hollywood on her cheeks. I'm using a flat brush and I'm using light strokes to place the color. I spray with Fix Plus and I am done. Oh, sorry, Lauren. Too much spray. And this is the final look. Ain't she pretty? Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you learned something, and let me know if you want to see more tutorials. Thanks.